on how to get or maintain a healthy lawn. So if we can go to the first slide. The first thing to consider is what type of grass you want to get for your yard, or what kind you already have that you want to build upon. So in an article from Choosing the Right Grass from yardcare.com, no author cited, it says choosing the right grass for your yard can make the difference between having a low maintenance, environmentally friendly lawn and one that is susceptible to disease, pest, and weed invasion, and that requires a lot of upkeep. So things to consider when you're looking at your grass and what type you want is, what do you want your lawn to look like? Do you want it to be, on the cover of a magazine, or is it just something that's going to be functional for your family? How much time and money are you willing to spend on your yard for upkeep, that maintenance, replacing things throughout the year? What are your growing conditions like? So what's the amount of sun you get? What kind of shade do you get in your yard? What type of soil do you have? Is it a hard soil? And then your climate. So obviously in the hotter climates, you're going to need a heat-resistant grass versus something that maybe in the north. And then how are you going to use your lawn? Is it going to be a play area? Are you going to use it for decorative landscaping, or is it going to be for erosion control? Next slide. Secondly, what you want to talk about is we're going to cover aerating and then water usage. So aerating is the process of removing small plugs of soil from the turf. This is aside from white lawn. Aerating is necessary for a healthy lawn on lawncare.net. Some examples or resources for aerating is grass needs oxygen in the root area, so what aerating does, pulls that out, allows the roots in the grass to expand so you get some oxygen down in there. And you also may need to aerate more than one time a year, depending on your foot traffic. So if your yard has a lot of kids in it, it's the neighborhood area where everybody comes and plays kickball and softball, then you may need to do that twice a year. And then secondly, how much water should you be using? So turf grasses typically require 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch per week. And AmericanLawns.com cites, the ideal lawn is one that will grow best in your environment without lots of supplemental watering. So some other facts about watering is you want to decide beforehand if you're going to water or not. So if you are going to water, you want to make sure to water consistently throughout the year. You don't want those plants or that grass to get a lot of water, be healthy, and then die back, and then water it back into being green again. When you do water, you want to make sure to also thoroughly water. What you're trying to do is get the roots of the grass to really get that water. You don't want to have them come to the surface to get a drink. And then water early in the day when possible. So when that temperature is hot, watering at night is going to be cause your grass to be susceptible to disease. So unless it gets below 68 degrees at night, then early in the morning is the best time, so that can evaporate throughout the day. Next slide. And then how often should I mow? So yardcare.com, no author cited, just has some examples on rules for mowing. So you want to cut no more than 1/3 of your grass. What that does is send your grass into shock. You want to never scalp the lawn or cut below your plant crowns. Definitely only mow when your grass is dry. When it's wet, you're going to clump up your mower, possibly cause damage to that. So definitely make sure that's dry. Change your mowing patterns frequently to prevent compaction. So every week I go out and mow, and I mow in a different pattern every week. And what that does is just gets the grass to consistently grow straight up versus growing in a pattern where you're always mowing the same way. Always mow with a sharp blade. Dull blades don't cut that grass evenly. You always want to make sure to sharpen that. If you need to replace the blade once a year, it's about $20. And then at the end of the season, you want to cut at the low end of the recommended height range during cool weather, and then make your last cut of that season at that low end of the recommended height range. So just a couple of tips for lawn care, or how to get that healthy lawn. Not a lot go into it, but definitely get a sense of gratification if you can get that lawn fixed. And that's it. Thank you.